You're looking good.
I love it.
There we go. Well, I want to welcome everybody to our office and appreciate an opportunity to get together and celebrate something positive. Very few days in my life go by that somebody doesn't ask me, what can we do to help the people in Ukraine? And I think we've all been inspired by the courage, the bravery of the Ukrainian people. And this is what Kansans do. If you look around me, we have vests and helmets that have been donated from law enforcement offices. I have a couple of gentlemen here with me who've been involved in bringing this all together. So I don't want to steal all their thunder. First is Mike Bergmeyer. Mike and I have known each other for 4 or 5 years from Hutchinson, Kansas. Has you make farm implements there at Shield Ag and a few other things as well. Mike, share your story. How did you get involved with this?
Well, about 10 years ago, through an agent, I started selling farm equipment and parts in the Ukraine, and learned their culture and their people, and have 7 or 8 very close colleagues over there that are no longer selling farm equipment. They're defending their own city streets and trying to raise humanitarian aid. Recently in Hutchinson, Kansas, our people in our little town raised almost $46,000 for humanitarian only aid. And the same guy that's shipping these vests is managing that fund to ship purely humanitarian aid over there. In my travels, Ukraine and other places, then I met Daniel Raholtz, who has business interest over there selling farm equipment. So Daniel?
And Daniel, your company's Formata.
Yes, sir.
In Salina, Kansas.
Yes,
So
sir.
share your story if you don't mind.
I used to sell farm machinery in Ukraine for over 18 years. I traveled there 2 to 3 times a year. I really fell in love with the Ukrainian country. Kansas has a lot in common with Ukraine. We forget that our our turkey wheat came from Ukraine. And so when the farmers that came to Kansas originally, they really struggled to survive. They got the grain or wheat from Ukraine, and that helped Kansas farming over 100 years ago. So Ukraine means a lot to me, and so I connected with Mike and with some of our contacts to try to see how we can help them. And we made a couple phone calls, and it's unbelievable what the state of Kansas has done here. Just, all the different law enforcement agencies that have come together and donated this. We just really want to thank everyone for that.
And I will say the first person that came back with the yes we can was Senator Marshall in his office.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. I should commend my staff. Katie Sawyer, Tyler Mason's here today as well. Tyler takes care of all our military veterans and a close relationship with police and sheriff's offices across the state here. Looking at my notes, we have 20 different law enforcement office agencies that have helped contribute the equipment here. Over 300 vests, it's 50 helmets. It looks like it's more than that, and I hear it's growing. I know that the Attorney General, Derek Schmidt, has helped as well. We want to thank him, of course. Again, I think it's the thought that counts, but in this case, it's going to really hopefully save some lives. What's going to happen is we're going to get this to the Ukrainian embassy in D.C., and then the embassy is going to transport it to Poland, which I recently visited as well, and I think all the wheels are greased. And then they'll take the people, we'll get it there in Poland and get it on into the Ukraine to be used by the military and law enforcement officials. Again, thanks to all the law enforcement agencies across the state, police offices, sheriff's offices across the state have helped make this possible. My staff did this all as volunteers, helping put the pieces together. There is a right way to do this. We had a few hoops to jump, as you can imagine, but very, very proud to be part of this.
Terrific, we are too.
Yep.
Thank you so much for the help.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, any questions for the press? Go ahead.
Obviously, you got a good turnout. What was it like reaching out to law enforcement? What was kind of the response?
You know, we have a great relationship with them already across the state long before this issue came up. My dad was the chief of police in my hometown for 25 years, so a great relationship. And for whatever reason, we have just have a close relationship with the sheriffs across the state, Highway Patrol for that matter as well. And did you all deal more direct? I know that my office was out there reaching out to them directly. Did you all have any interaction?
I had most of my interaction with your state director, Katie Sawyer, and then just trying to contact some of them to see what they had extra, but I always sent them back to Katie to do the follow-up.
Yeah, they don't like being in front of cameras, right. And they don't want to bring attention to themselves as in typical Kansas fashion.